Okay, so I want to talk to you about wasting time in video games. Because
you've been wasting my time all day, so
I waste your time. Your time is worthless, but I treat it as such. Video games are inherently a way to pass time. They are a I feel like we use the term time sink. I feel like if you say they're a waste of time, a lot of people are like, hey, hold on now. And if you're having a good time, then you're not wasting your time. Like that's the whole thing. Is if you're enjoying yourself, then
there's a video game podcast that some of our peers do, which I've always loved the name of, called "A Life Well Wasted," and I think that's a fantastic philosophy of like, yes, are you chipping away at a greater goal that you should be doing in your life? No. Does it matter because you're having a good time? No. Enjoy yourself.
Relax.
It's a hobby. Have fun.
Yeah, but that said, I think there are certain kinds of games where it's very much like, I always think of like the movie Train Spotting, which I'm like, why is it called Train Spotting? And it's like, the whole thing of Train Spotting is like bird watching for trains, which sounds like the most boring thing imaginable. And you're like, why would you do that? Which is also a mentality that could be applied to heroin. You're like, why would anyone do that? That seems horrible. And it's like, actually, here's why it's fun. Don't do heroin, but do play video games. So there's a bunch of, like, Powerwash Simulator 2 just came out. And that is a comically stupid premise for a game.
Okay, let me tell you about my relationship with this game.
Go for it.
The first one came to Xbox Game Pass day and date when it launched, and I was like, I never got into any of these, but with Game Pass I was always like, I'll download the new stuff, I'll give it a little bit of time. If it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, if he dies, he dies, right? It doesn't matter. So that one I sat down and I'm like, oh, this is actually really addictive. Like, it's got this awesome little ding. I'm not necessarily like a neat freak, but I'm tidy enough where I'm like, if I have the opportunity to do that in a video game, I don't like living in like a messy. I know if you're looking at me on camera, you're surrounded by walls and walls of action figures and junk, and you got all this tchotchkes and crap. Yeah, I know, but they're organized and dusted and all that fun stuff. So when I sit down and play Powerwash Simulator, I'm like, man, I actually really like this, and I get to do stuff that I can't do in my own yard. If I wash my driveway or wash a car, it doesn't make a dinging noise every time I get the rear view mirrors or whatever. And in this game, it lets you go power wash Final Fantasy VII or SpongeBob's bathroom or whatever. You can go do all that fun stuff. And I was super into Powerwash Simulator 2. I got the game on Switch the day it came out, paid full price for it. It was one of those games I was playing constantly. I got to this roller rink level, and Switch was the perfect place for it, right? And I think on PS Portal would be awesome too, where you can just have something else on in the background, or you're sitting on the couch, your kid's watching, Bluey or something like that, and you're like, I'm just sitting next to you. It's a Saturday morning. I'm power washing, this mansion or whatever. They had me power wash a roller rink. Right? And it's got this huge turntable and boombox in there. I cleaned every inch of this place and saved the game, put it down, came back a week later because I was playing a bunch of Hyrule Warriors, and I came back and it said I was 4% done with the roller rink. And I was like, you killed it. You lost my save file. You have murdered my, you have reached the ceiling of what I'm willing to put into something that is utterly wasting my time, that is not giving me back anything narrative wise. It is just giving me little dings. It's giving me slightly better hoses and power washes and stuff like that. But I go on the subreddit and it turns out this is a known bug and they're working on it and they're patching it and it's happening across a bunch of different versions of the game. And I was kind of like, that sucks, man. That wasn't the deal. The deal was I was
wasting time on my terms.
I was wasting time on my time, and you guys made me waste the same time twice, and I have to walk away. So now I probably won't finish this game for a year. I'll come back in a year and I'll be like, oh, the friggin' roller rink. Yeah, I'll clean it again. These damn kids who keeps.
You don't have to. I think there's that feeling of you got to finish the thing, and there's that sort of sunken cost fallacy of if you got.
That's true.
I always talk about the movie Matilda. There's a kid who gets caught stealing a cake, and they're like, you got to eat a whole cake in front of the whole school.
Yeah.
Here's Bog Trotter. And I feel like that's kind of it, is this thing you enjoy in small quantities. What if it was a punishment? What if it was an ordeal that you have to deal with? And I don't know. This game is great, but
you know what's funny about that scene?
A lot of it?
Well, he eats the cake, but like the Miss Trunchbull is basically like, you got to eat this cake in front of the whole class. It's going to humiliate you. It's going to be physically, emotionally repulsive. It's child abuse, right? Straight up. Yeah, so that's not the funny part.
It's a Roald Dahl story. Say no more.
Yeah. But the funny part is that he's like he struggles a little, but he mostly just takes it down. Yeah. Like he's kind of just like, yeah, man, I'll do what you got to do in front of the whole class. I'll eat this whole cake. Not the best way to do this for sure, but I'm doing it. Yeah. And so I always thought about that scene, because you and I have talked about that scene a lot, and I revisited the book and the movie with my kid recently, and was kind of like, oh, he actually kind of takes it like a pro. I'm like, man, good dude. That's great.
But yeah, I mean, again, it's if you're eating a cake and you have a slice of it and you go, ooh, that was a good cake, and you have like another slice, you're like, oh, that's pretty good. And if you just sit to eat, you're like, well, I got to eat the whole cake now. Like you're not going to feel great. Like it's going to be generally a bad time. So I don't know, with a game like this where it's repetitive actions, you're doing the whole thing. I think there is that sunken cost fallacy, and maybe the thrill is getting everything power washed and going, all right, we're done here. But yeah, I mean, if you lose a bunch of progress, then what then? But yeah, it just cracks me up that this is a game that I think a lot of people are, really vibing with. It's a good time. I
think in the last day or last few days, they announced this, like, it's like a leaf blowing simulator. There's another one where you have to like play with and clean up the snow in the town. So it's like, there's a market for this stuff, right? And I thought that this was my entry point into like the obtuse European vehicle simulator stuff that we always see on this Gamescom show floor. And I was like, that's not necessarily for me, but this one is. Yeah, there's a Leaf game.
Like that, one of the games I had the most fun with this year was what's it called? Roadcraft. Mm-hmm. That is a game that is infuriating. Like I was like, I wish this is a little bit more of a video game. You're like slowly picking up stuff with a crane. It falls off. You got to pick it up again. Like it's tedious in a way that's kind of a thrill. I don't know. And again, it's if you're having a good time doing it, you're not wasting your time. Like it's an activity. Ball Pit, we talked a bit about on the show. A lot of people are hooked on Ball Pit right now. It's a thing. I hit a point with that game where I was like, oh, I love this. It's definitely like, it's gratifying. It's like you unlock the new stuff, you get the next thing, you power up the stuff, you do the thing, but ultimately the thing you're doing is like, it's like somewhere between a slot machine and watching popcorn pop and bubble wrap.
Yeah. And I think that like, I don't know if like sitting down and playing God of War Ragnarok is a steak, this is popcorn, and popcorn's great. I love popcorn. I could probably eat popcorn every day. Like Reddit actually started being like, do you want to see more from the popcorn subreddit? And I was like, not that much. That's a lot. And those guys, they're into it, right? They love popcorn. But for me, there was this thing that after a while I was playing this game and I said to myself, this is really good, but you've been snacking on popcorn for 15 hours now, and you need to grill some chicken thighs or make a steak. And I understand that food comparisons are lazy. So am I.
No, I mean, I feel like roguelites in general they're Sisyphean by design. Like they are, that you lose so much. That's part of the deal. That's part of how it works. That's part of the thing. And for the longest time, I thought that I hated that. I thought that was stupid. I didn't want to do that. I was like, give me something where I can just like save my progress. And I feel like I've gotten way more into roguelites in recent years and way less into sort of more long form single player narrative type games.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I can't quite put my finger on why. I have less time to game because I have a 4-year-old and spend a lot of time with her, and there's always a bunch of chores and stuff to do. And again, it's being a grown up. It's part of it. And like I think because these are sort of bite-sized experiences, like a run it's going to be 15 minutes, and you're going to I feel like I kind of did something, and maybe you lose a bunch of stuff along the way. Maybe it's a complete wash, but I think the fact that there is, in a roguelite, there's always going to be a sense of wasting time. There's always going to be this feeling of like, oh man, I should have been doing something else that time. And I think with, I don't know, like if jumping into like some massive sprawling open world single player game, there's a sense of like, oh, I need to accomplish something. And again, when that clicks, you feel like you accomplished something. You're like, I solved the quest, I saved the princess, whatever. I liberated an outpost and unlocked a skill point, or whatever the hell it is. But in so many roguelites, you're like, man, I played twice and I got some cool stuff and I maybe moved some permanent upgrades along,
That's it, right?
I knew I was going to lose twice. You know?
Yeah. I think
it's kind of this. Yeah.
The great ones give you like just enough of a little treat afterwards to make a bar go up just enough that it has like a slightly tangible feeling of improvement afterwards. And I think the sort of classic roguelites didn't, right? They hadn't really built the blueprint for that yet. But the really good ones are the ones that make you go, you like, okay, I'm a little bit stronger, I'm a little bit faster, I'm a little bit better, and my next run's going to do this, and this. Vampire Survivors did that, Dead Cells did that. You know, some of the best ones, back to Binding of Isaac and stuff, and even of course before that, like those are the ones that make you go like, I'm not just dumping, you know, like there's those arcade games where you just put coins in and the coins fall down this thing and you look at them and they're with all the other quarters, and then this big bar pushes the quarters towards you, and maybe sometimes you get some tickets back. And like there's a thing where after a while you're like, I'm a monkey, I'm a stupid monkey man. I'm an idiot. What am I doing?
It's a lizard brain, you know. You're just you found something that makes dopamine come out and you're like, ooh, what's this? And I don't know, that's the bizarre thing I'm kind of dealing with, is like I feel like I have less time to game. I think I just have, you know, a bunch of stuff on my mind, and when I sit down to play a video game, I just want to play a video game. Like I want to do something that's just the quickest route to, like, you know, I have 10 minutes to have the thrill of having a little snack, like a steak dinner. It's going to take them 20 minutes to bring me my food. Popcorn, I can have popcorn now. I'll enjoy the popcorn. I'll eat lots of popcorn. I'll put seasonings on top, extra butter. Num num num. Like,
sure.
Yeah, and I've been playing a bunch of Battlefield as well, and like I suck at it, and I have fun. I just run around, you know. I give people the defibrillator, you know. I throw little backpacks in front of them, and sometimes they're mean to me, and occasionally I kill a guy, and it's like a really, I don't know. It's these little, you know. And then I finish a match, and it gives you like beep 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 beep, and like you unlock the new handle for your gun, you know, like it's something completely, you know. Yeah, and some guys like. You see these dudes run by and they've got like everything all specced out, or like, you know, maybe they get killed and I get to pick up their thing, and I'm like, wow, you got so much cool stuff on your weapons. I don't have any of this stuff. I suck at this game. But it's like, I don't know, it's a bizarre thing where it's I have less time to play games, and the time I'm spending playing them, I feel like I'm playing more trivial, sort of more junk food stuff. And I think it's just trying to kind of streamline that sense of like, it's not accomplishment. I don't really know what that is exactly. I don't know.
No, I put like 60, 70 hours in a Yote, right? And I did almost everything you can do in that game. And I think I kind of ebb and flow when I kind of crash out after a big game like that. And I go, I need some smaller kind of amuse-bouches for a little while. I rolled credits on Hyrule Warriors. It's the first Muso game I've ever beaten. And I was just like, oh, this is perfectly scratching that itch between like third person Ghost of Yote combat with, you know, some ridiculous over the top Dragon Ball stuff, but also like it's just mindless enough where you can finish a level or a run in like 10-12 minutes, and it's pretty passive. And I was kind of like, this is what I needed. So I don't know what's going to be next for me. It's probably going to be another big open world single player story driven thing, or it could be just something, you know, kind of quick and sleazy like Ball Pit, like more of that, right?
Yeah, I mean, the big one right now that a lot of people are playing is Arc Raiders, and I was curious about this, and I don't even know what I searched. I feel like I'm just doing like full like boomer dad stuff where I'm like, what's Arc Raiders about? I just typed in Arc Raiders into Google, but one of the first things that popped up, these two things, like the two top results, and this is, again, it's all changing algorithmically or whatever. First thing was a post on Reddit that said, Arc Raiders makes me feel out of touch. It's got like 6,000 comments, you know, a whole lot of, you know, a lot of people talking on this. This guy named Ragnarok Knight was like, hey, I bought Arc Raiders as my first extraction game because I wanted to give the genre a try, and a lot of people have been saying it's arguably the most accessible game in the genre, yada, yada, yada. But after playing for a few hours, I don't really get it. I extracted maybe 40 times now, and I think I've found literally one interesting thing the entire time, a weapon blueprint, but it's a blueprint that requires a bunch of high-level materials I haven't even seen yet, so it's basically useless. And basically they go on to say, like, I don't understand the feeling of loot anxiety. For me, it's just like, oh, I died and I lost that gun I wasted materials on. That's kind of lame. I guess I'll use the free crappy gun again. And
sure.
I'm just kind of like, is that, am I missing something? Like, am I doing it wrong? Is it just this thrill of like feeling like you're going to lose your stuff? And again, I'm curious about this game because a lot of people are having a really good time. And so I backed out of that. And the next thing that popped up was a little YouTube short it's called This Is Why Everyone Loves Arc Raiders, from, what's this guy's name? And it's just this fast cut montage of him playing this single player thing, and it just feels like here's everything you can do. And admittedly, he's does much better video games than me, but he just kind of goes in and he's having these bizarre interactions with people, like the fact that it's this kind of, I don't know, in conventional multiplayer, there's other people on the other team who are going to try to kill you. Yes or yes. That's the objective. That's the point. Right. In this case, he like runs into a guy, and the guy's like, he like shot at him by accident or something, and he's like talking to him. He's like, "Hey man, I'm not going to shoot you. I'm just trying to get down the stairs." And the guy's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to shoot you either, but I'm not coming through that door." They have this weird standoff where they solve it by just like talking to each other. He found like he's running around scrounging stuff, and there's this feeling of just sort of desperation, and he's running around, and it's like the social aspect in this weird sprawling wasteland. And again, that's not even factoring in the aspect of like the robots running around. And I've heard that you can play this game as single player, but I'm also just like reading the out of touch Reddit post. I'm like, that feels more like where I'm at, and I feel like I'm just gonna bash my head against it. And
no, I think there's that thing where like a big new game comes out and you're like, oh, I'm compelled to feel like I need to make this for me. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't always have to be the case, right? Like sometimes you can just a big new game coming out can just be a net positive for your hobby without you engaging in it independently. Like sometimes it'll be like it gives you that Reddit post, right? It gives you some memes. You get the dopamine through that. Like there's things where it's just like more people are playing PC games. Maybe these people will be like, hey, I like third-person survival games. I'm going to play The Last of Us 2, and then they finally make a third one of those or whatever it is, right? Like all of those things, the rising tides and raises all ships or whatever. And so yeah, I think I see stuff like this, and I looked at the player movement, was immediately like, I don't know if this one's going to be for me. Like I can just kind of tell. There's a lot of like, you need people in your ear. And I like to play, I either play like couch co-op stuff with my family or friends, or I'll just shut off the lights, play a single player game. There's a couple times a year where my wife will just be like, oh, you got a big new video game that you got to play by yourself. I'll take the kid out. We'll go to the, trampoline park or whatever. We'll go to the, the zoo. You stay home. And I'm like, well, I want to go to the zoo. I love the zoo, but also like, I'm hooked on this game, and so I need this big single player game every now and then. And so yeah, it's okay if not everything is for everyone, right?
Yeah, like I guess going back to the video games are a waste of time unless you're having fun. But sometimes you kind of need to re-examine, like, am I having fun?
Yeah,
I guess that's the thing that I'm kind of wrapping my head around, is that like as I've gotten older, my tastes have changed, and I feel like, oh, I should enjoy this thing that I used to enjoy, and I don't necessarily enjoy it, and it's just. I don't know. We're kind of spinning our wheels here, but it's just
no. To add to that, like the free to play thing, the games popping up on subscription services you've already paid for, like that really changes the way you can have an interaction or relationship with these things. Because I've said this before, but like when we were younger and you wanted to watch a new movie, either you turned on the TV and the 3 movies or 1 movie that was on TV was the movie you watched, or you got in the car and you went to Blockbuster or like, Suncoast Video or whatever, these old dumps, and they were great. And you would bring home a movie on a Friday night. If you didn't get there early enough, you just got whatever slim pickings were left on the bottom shelf, right? Basically like the bagged cereal of movies. And you'd come home and at like 7 o'clock, you and your friends, or you and your parents or your siblings or whatever, you'd put on this movie. And if it sucked, like you just kind of had to watch it all the way through, because you're like, what's the alternative? Like we pull like the Lion King VHS out for the 7 billionth time. Like this is the only new thing we have. And so now I notice with like games like this, free to play stuff, or like games that show up on PS Plus or Game Pass, I'll play them for like 10 minutes. And if I'm like not immediately hooked, unless someone's like, oh, it gets really good after this and this, stick with it. I have a tendency to kind of like rip the game out and just be like, no thanks, because all it took was the download time, right? And so
you don't even need that if you're streaming it.
If you're streaming it, yeah, you don't even need that if you're cloud streaming it. And so yeah, I think that like it's very different now. And so a game, if it doesn't feel like it's respecting your time, or you feel like you're not getting the most of your time from it, it's okay to walk away early, Yeah. Notoriously on this show, 10 years ago, I said I was doing that with Bloodborne, and then I went back for a second pass, and it became, my favorite game of all time. So, your mileage may vary. But
yeah, no, I'm really like, I'm looking at Arc Raiders and I'm like, I want to play this. This looks like fun. Mm-hmm. But I'm also like, do I want to spend $40 on it? And I feel like if they do a demo trial run thing, they're gonna hook a lot of people.
Yeah.
because it's, I mean, that's the other thing is like there's time, but there's, there's also the money aspect. And video games are still very good for your bang for your buck, which is nice, even if it's the crazy subscription thing. I don't know. It's, again, there's so many things to play. And when you're a kid, you're like, I got a new game for Christmas, I'm playing that. Yes or yes, that's what I gotta do. I mean, you go to, have you ever walked out of a movie, like in theaters?
The Time Machine.
Oh, with Guy Pearce?
Yeah.
Wow, where you're like, I want my time back? Is that what?
I did. I think I did.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip from Beyond, IGN's weekly PlayStation show. You can find the full episode over on youtube.com/IGN Games. And don't forget, new episodes of Beyond drop every Wednesday on IGN.com, the IGN Games YouTube, and all your favorite podcast platforms. Thanks again for watching, and as always, Beyond.